So again, this is your Math for Liberal Arts course, and starting this semester, we've actually changed the prefixes. So this class used to be known as Math 120. It is now Math 1240, 1240. So that's just a new prefix for this class. I will try to remember the new prefix, but having taught this class for 4 years now, I may keep going back to Math 120, but it's basically the same class, is just the prefix has changed. So this is 1240. This is a 4 credit hour class. So that's the reason why we meet Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays for, I think, 1 hour, 10 minutes, I believe our class times are. That's kind of the setup for this class. All of our meetings are going to be on Zoom. Our exams are also going to be on Zoom, and it's going to be like today, how you guys are here on Zoom. You will basically leave your cameras on, and you'll take the exam like you're taking it in class with me. So that's kind of how the remote part of it will work out. So this is a full semester class. So we start, today is our first day. December 9th is going to be our last day for this class, which is more than likely going to be our final exam day, but we'll kind of see as we progress with the course. So just a little about myself. I've been at Ames Community College. This is actually starting my 5th year at Ames. I came back in fall of 2018 from Ohio to Colorado. I've actually been teaching since 2006, but I was teaching as an adjunct and as a teaching assistant, for a few years before that. But full-time, I've been teaching since 2006. I basically teach at the Fort Lupton campus. That's the main campus where I am at. So my office is going to be on the Fort Lupton campus, and I'm actually going to be teaching there on Tuesdays and Thursdays. So Tuesdays and Thursdays, I'll be on campus, and then Monday, Wednesday, Fridays, I'll be remote. If any of you are a student through Fort Lupton campus, you're definitely welcome to stop by and see me on Tuesday, Thursdays. All my office hours, even if I'm doing in-person office hours, I will keep a Zoom option available regardless. So you can come to see me in person. Like I said, I'll be on the Fort Lupton campus, or we can just meet through Zoom. And those links I will post in D2L. So you will have, of course, you have the Zoom classroom link, and then you'll have a different link for the Zoom office hours. So those will be available on D2L. I just posted the course syllabus on D2L, and I'll go through that with you first before we kind of get into some of the other stuff. So you will actually find that under content. So if you go to your Math for Liberal Arts, at the very top where you have that navigation banner, if you go click on content, under course information, you will see your course syllabus is available as a PDF document if you guys wanted to look at that while I discuss it with you. And I will go ahead and share my screen here with you so you can see. So let's take a look here. Yeah. All right, wonderful. Sarah, just please make sure your video is turned on. All right, guys, so your course number is 20777, the section R42. So anytime you need to do anything related to this class, if you're looking for information or anything, that will be the information you will need. They'll usually ask you either for the section number, which is R42, or the course number, which is that 2000. 20777. Now, something you need to keep in mind, and if you've attended any classes today, your other instructors may have gone over this, but that's this time expectation part. So basically, we say for each hour of classroom or direct faculty instruction, you should be spending a minimum of 2 hours outside of class. But, again, depending on the type of class it is, you may need to spend more than 2 hours. Some of them may be a little less than 2 hours. So, but that's kind of the general expectation, is that for each 1 hour of class, you will be spending 2 hours outside. So, if this is a 4-credit class, which means we're technically doing 4 hours worth of work in 1 week. So that's 4 hours plus additional 8 hours. So you're looking at 12 hours being dedicated to, this course in the minimum. Like I said, sometimes it just depends. It can be more than that. You have my contact information here. So I've given you both of my email addresses directly to D2L or, the ames.edu. Like I said, my office is on the Fort Lupton campus. So that's the Prairie Building. Office phone number, office hours. So all of this will be available right here to you in your course syllabus. You can see your drop and withdrawal deadline. So as you can see, September 2nd is where, that's a drop deadline. And that basically means the class will not show up on your transcript. So you can, if you decide this class is not working for you, you have that option. If you go with the withdrawal option, then it definitely shows up as a W on your transcript that you took the class, but you withdrew from it before you completed it. So that would be November 2nd. Anytime you decide to drop or withdraw, I would always recommend to speak with your academic advisor just to make sure that is the right decision for you. And it's okay for you, financially and for any other reasons to withdraw or drop a class. So always speak with your advisor before you make that decision. Some links over here to the academic calendar, what other student services we have available. I do want to say that if you qualify for any kind of services through our disability access services office, you should definitely avail those. So if you have any recommendations, then that would be the office you would go through. So that is a link you would find under student services. Of course, you'll find all other kinds of resources, our tutoring labs, writing lab. Let's see, we have student emergency fund, the Artie's Pantry, all kinds of different options that Ames offers you. So that would be a great link to go under and look at. Now, specific to our course, you can kind of see what the prerequisite requirements are. And, in general, that's kind of our go-to prerequisites for most of our college level courses, college algebra, math for liberal arts, statistics, that's kind of the same prerequisite. Now, I will tell you, for this class, I was actually assigned this class very last minute. Towards the end of last week is when they asked me if I could teach this class, and I was like, sure, I can do that. But I did not have enough time to really set up the class like I normally do when, they assign me classes in the spring semester for fall. So this class is really work in progress as I am going through. I started working on this class, and I'll be honest, yesterday, I did not have time to get to it before because I'm teaching 5 total classes this semester. So getting everything ready takes a while. And I was teaching till last Monday because I was teaching summer school. So I got done with those classes on Monday, and then, I started working on fall. So for this class, I am actually going to be trying a new textbook, and I am going to be trying a new homework platform. So as you can see here, your textbook is going to be Math in Society, Math for Liberal Arts Majors. And it's actually a open educational resource textbook, which means you don't have to pay anything for that. And you have the link available for this textbook in your D2L course shell. This textbook has been designed by the Portland Community College's math department. Let me see if I can make this a little bit more visible. So this is the PDF version for the textbook. Like I said, it's been designed by the Portland Community College's math department. So this is the textbook we will be referencing. So you can see the contents there, and then this is how the chapter pages end up looking like. And then your homework section at the end. So pretty straightforward, but it's not anything fancy like a publisher designed textbook. So just kind of keep that in mind. It's math instructors who worked on this and who designed this. Also, the homework platform we will be using is MyOpenMath, which is also an open educational resource. So again, you guys will not have to pay anything to use this. And again, its user interface is going to be very simple compared to if you're used to MyMathLab or Cengage or WebAssign or any of those platforms. It's going to look a little bit different, but we're trying to incorporate more open educational resources where students don't have to take a huge upfront cost. So that's kind of the idea behind using this textbook and the MyOpenMath. Now the textbook is going to be connected with the homework platform. So it's not like you have homework, which is different from your textbook. Your homework will be based on the same textbook that I am using. Now the official department policy is you can use a scientific calculator, but if you have a graphing calculator at home and that's what you want to use, that would be fine, but preferably they do want you to use a scientific calculator. Michael, did you have a question there?
So do we still need these books or not?
No, so we are not using that Practical Odyssey. So if you can take it back.
Okay.
Yeah, please do. So yeah, if you went through the bookstore and got that, because that was the book I have been using prior to this semester. So and under this class, you will see that they do the Mathematics, A Practical Odyssey as our official textbook. But like I said, we'll be using this free one over here. So as you can imagine, Math for Liberal Arts is a non-STEM math course, which means if you're not going into science, technology, engineering, or mathematics as a major option, you don't have to then take college algebra or statistics. You can take Math for Liberal Arts. So this class, because it's Math for Liberal Arts, will touch on a lot of different topics. So you will see that we actually will start out with set theory and logic, which is going to be one of the first chapters we work on. Then we'll get into a little bit of statistics, not too in-depth like you would in a statistics course, but we'll definitely set the foundation for that. We'll get into some financial calculations. We'll do some, obviously, real world applications is going to be a big part of it. So a lot of different topics, we're going to jump around on. Even if you just look at that textbook's contents, you will see we start out with logic and sense, then we'll get into financial math. As I mentioned, we'll do a little bit of statistics, we'll do probability. We're not really going to be spending too much time on chapter 5. We're only going to pick whatever is necessary for this course. So you can see right here, you have the course description, you have your required course learning outcomes. So you can see they want us to definitely, try and apply logic and the set theory concepts to try and decide between valid and invalid arguments. Like I said, mathematical modeling for real world applications is going to be a big part. How to use appropriate models. So that would mean, you are given this problem. Now you have to come up with your own model to try and simplify that problem. So we'll talk about that. And then of course, probability and statistics also to help us decide, are you looking at a valid or an invalid argument or conclusion, as they're calling it. So those are your four main course learning outcomes, and then the topical outline actually breaks them down into specifics for each of those outcomes. So you can see we'll be talking about, like inductive, deductive reasoning, different ways that you can work with sets, visualization with Venn diagrams and Euler or Euler diagrams. Now, some of these topics in here are optional, but that is kind of how the state wants us to list them, the way they gave us the list. So I've listed it the way they want us to, but some of these topics are optional. And with optional topics, as you can imagine, we kind of leave them as time permit. So you want to do the required stuff first, and then when we have time, we move on to the recommended or the optional material. So some of this is definitely required, and actually 90% of this is required. There's very few things in here that are, recommended but not required. So we'll be definitely dealing with some of these, we'll be talking about linear exponential models. As I mentioned, you have some financial applications, so simple interest, compound interest, loans with applications, cost estimation, and those kind of things. Probability and statistics will be basically touching on almost all of them as we go through these sections. This one over here is again a state required content, and I just realized I didn't change that. But the state wants us to put what the guaranteed transfer means. So I don't know if you guys are familiar with this concept. In Colorado, all higher education institutions, so four-year colleges, two-year colleges, have this guaranteed transfer pathways agreement. This class that you take at any college can actually be transferred to any of these higher institutions. So as long as you get a good grade, which is normally A, B, some institutions may accept the C, some may not. Just depends on the program and the college itself. But the idea is if you successfully pass a course, they will transfer credits. So if you were to go to CSU, UNC, they will accept this course. So they just kind of list what the requirements, learning outcomes for that guaranteed transfer are, and you guys can go through that in detail if you like. But this is generally for all math courses, so this is not specific to just math for liberal arts. This is for math, statistics, college algebra, all of those courses, so you can kind of see all of that breakdown. AIMS has its own learning outcomes, so you can see that at the link. The course delivery method, as you guys can imagine, is, after COVID happened, everything had to be changed. We just had to quickly adapt and get into this new mode. So that's kind of become a requirement now, that we have to let you guys know that for any reason, our delivery method can change. Right now we're remote, and obviously, in any kind of emergency, remote works out well, but whatever may happen, if we need to change our delivery method, then we can do that. So that's, again, if you want more information, there's the link for that. Code of conduct, obviously we want to make sure we are following the guidelines set by the college, by the county, by the state, nationally, federally, doesn't matter. So again, you've got your student code of conduct there. That one will also get into, academic integrity, academic honesty, and those kind of things. So it's a kind of everything that would involve you as a student, on our campus at the college. So you can definitely look through that. So instead of, writing everything out in your syllabus, we have given you the links. So if you wanted to, you can go ahead and explore those more. Instructional materials, of course, redistribution or reuse without any kind of approval is prohibited. So be it stuff I have created or I'm using or you are creating for classes, there has to be that approval before it can be shared or reused in any formal way. So those are the general policies as far as the college and the state goes. Now we're getting into policies which is specific to just our class, this section of math 1240, with me. So since we are a remote class, you basically want to think of it in the same way as you would an on-campus in-person class. So since we are meeting remotely 3 times a week, of course, the idea is you need to be here, all of those days. So attendance is mandatory. You are required to attend class regularly. If for any reason you are going to be missing class, then, obviously, let me know what's going on, why you won't be there. You can get in touch with a classmate, ask, what you missed. If you want to get copies of their notes, if they're willing to share, you can do that. And like I said, since I record my lectures, you can definitely go to the D2L course shell and find the recording for the day you missed, and make up the material that you have missed. But obviously, since we are going to be a remote class, there is going to be a lecture aspect to it. There's going to be work that you and I are going to be working on together. So definitely you will get the most out of it by being in class. I'm not sure why I did that big gap over there. So this is continuation of attendance. So just attending is not enough. Participation is a big part of my classes, because if I'm the only one talking the whole time, then I don't get a sense of what you understand, what made sense to you, what did not make sense to you, what you need help with. So a lot of times I like for us to, kind of work in a more interactive way. So that way you are, working on homework or working on problems from homework, not really working on homework itself, but working on problems from homework. So that way, if you run into any problems, we're right there in class to answer them, go over examples or whatever. So I do expect a lot of interaction from you, because that's the only way for me to know if you're understanding the content, if you need extra help, or we're good to go, move forward. So again, keep in mind, guys, attendance is mandatory. And there are video lectures available in D2L. So if you want to watch them ahead of time, so that way you're kind of prepared for the class when you come into class, that would definitely benefit you, tremendously. Now, since we are a Zoom based, video conferencing class, there are some rules that you will need to follow. You cannot attend class while lying in bed. And that may seem like, okay, what's the big deal? But every single time I've had a student lie in bed and watch or attend a class, they have fallen asleep. I'm not even joking. At least once in the semester. Because you may be tired, maybe you didn't get good night's sleep, or maybe your bed is just cozy and comfy and you fall asleep. I lay in bed and try to read a book at night, and I barely get through a paragraph and I'm out like a light, so you can get sleepy. So that's really not ideal. And if you fall asleep on me, that does not count as attendance. You don't get any points for that day for attendance. Same thing goes for any kind of distraction you may have. So if you think, you're going to attend class while driving, which is very dangerous, first of all, so we don't recommend that, obviously. But even if you are a passenger in a car, you're not going to get the best experience out of it. So while traveling is not acceptable. Being at work, but if your work allows you to take that time off, sit somewhere isolated where you're not going to get disturbed, that's different. But if you're at work and they expect you to continue doing your work while you're in class, then that doesn't work either. It's not like, how we have TV running sometimes in the background while we're doing something else, so you catch snippets of what's going on. That doesn't work, and definitely does not work for a math class. So any kind of distraction that is going to take you away from your class, I will actually exit you out of the Zoom session, because obviously we have that control at my end. So I will ask you to leave the Zoom session, and it will not count as attendance for that day either, because you want to make sure The idea is you are coming to the classroom and you're going to be present in the classroom. It's okay that we're not there in person, but we're still going to treat this the same way if you were coming to campus and taking an in-person class with me. So, obviously don't be on your cell phone unless, you are using your cell phone to access Zoom, which I have done sometimes because my laptop will just, give out on me. That is different. But if you're using your cell phone for anything else, obviously that's not allowed. So just kind of think about that. If you think any of this is going to be challenging for you, then I would recommend, sign up for either a completely online course, or you can sign up for an in-person course through, our various different campuses, whichever one works out for you. So I do have these expectations and I need you to follow them if you're going to stay in class with me. If any of this is a challenge, then like I said, talk to your advisor, see if you can change your section. Okay, the other thing is, continuing on with the whole Zoom atmosphere, is I do need to be able to see you. So I should be able to see your face. I should be able to, because I do keep the little window open on the side, so that way I can see, because, again, I need to be able to judge if what we're going through is making sense to you or not, because if it's not making sense to you, you're not understanding, then you're not going to be successful in this class. So I have to be able to see your face. You cannot be in a dark room. You cannot be pointing your camera, on your ceiling or a wall or window or whatever, because then, if it's not on you, then there's really no reason to keep your camera on. And if you're not going to keep your camera on, then, like I said, you do need to pick a different class then. So I do need to be able to see your faces. The other restriction that I have for my classes, and this is for both on campus and Zoom, is if you're going to be late by more than 10 minutes, I will not give you permission to enter our Zoom classroom. So let's see, our class starts at 11:15, so you have till basically 11:25 to get into the classroom. Once it hits 11:25 and goes beyond, you will not be permitted to enter the classroom. So be mindful of that. Of course, you will still be considered as being late if you come in at 11:20 or whatever, but at least you still get to come into the class. So 10 minutes is the limit. You cannot be later than 10 minutes. Now, having said that, if you are having some kind of a technical difficulty, because trust me, it happens. If you can, shoot me a quick email and say, hey, I'm trying to get into class, but this is what happens. So at least I know that you didn't just totally disappear on me and you're just having trouble getting in. So keep some of these things in mind, and I would definitely ask you to read through this a little bit more in detail so you can get a better idea of this. I've also included the Zoom link over here for our class. Just, I like to put it in multiple different places, so that's why I include it in our syllabus also. Now, of course, we're back to a regular semester, so we work Monday through Friday. So I will try and reply to your emails within that, 24-hour time period. I do not check my emails over the weekend, so Saturday, Sunday, I will not be checking my emails. So if there's anything you need from me, and luckily your class meets, I meet with you on Fridays also. So you do get that one chance of, on Fridays also to ask me for anything that you would need. But otherwise, just keep in mind Monday through Fridays, I'll be available. Weekends, not so much. And I don't do instant messaging of any kind. I know there's a couple different places where they make that available. We already have 2 email accounts that I need to check, so I don't really get into the instant messaging because I know I will miss those. So just please keep that in mind. Your grading breakdown is homework, quizzes, and other assignments. And by other assignments, I'll do some discussion posts. I'll do some smaller projects and stuff like that, just to help you get a better sense of the course and the course material. So those would be kind of the other assignments in there. All of those add up to 30% of your overall grade. Your chapter exams will be 50%, and then the final exam comes out to be 20%. So as you can see, that will add up to the 100% of your overall grade. You can see the scale over here. So 90 to 100 is A, 80 to 89 is a B, 70 to 79 is a C, 60 to 69 is a D, and then anything below 60% would be considered failing. I apologize for that, guys. I'm actually in my living room, so that's our cuckoo clock that's going off right now. I actually don't have the course schedule set up yet because, like I said, since I'm doing a new textbook, I'm actually not sure how long it will take with the chapters, because I have my mind on it should take this long. But you know, anytime you're trying out a new book, as we keep going through, because it'll give me a better idea. So I'll keep updating that as we are making our way forward. Now, with your video lectures, as I said, these are lectures from, you know, previous semesters. So they are still the same content, but, you know, they'll be based on a different textbook, but that really doesn't matter because your content doesn't change. The type of homework problems will not change. Now, you know, they may talk about something different, but how to solve them, how to process them will all be the same. So you do have these video lectures available to you in D2L. I would definitely make use of those. Like I said, we'll be using my open math, and I'll see if we have time to work on that today. If not, we can work on that on Wednesday. But that will be our homework platform. Now, homework will be assigned, you know, from each topic, if I can break it down by section or smaller topics, and I'll break it down by that. But homework will be assigned regularly. Normally, I want you guys to get at least a minimum of 90% grade on your homework so that, you know, you get good sense of the practice, but then also you're feeling confident as you move forward to the quizzes and the exams for those homework. So that will be a minimum requirement of 90%. Now, of course, you can go for 100% grade because, you know, obviously that brings your overall grade higher, but 90 would be the minimum requirement to move forward. You know, I always try to use the same type of questions that you have in your homework for your quizzes and exams, because, you know, I choose these questions myself. So I will always choose questions that I think, okay, this is going to be really interesting. This will give you a good sense of the concept. So if I'm making that effort in the homework, I want to try and carry that on into my quizzes and exams also. So every problem you see on your homework, there will be no surprises as far as the exams goes, because that's where your exam questions will come from. Now, you know, these are algorithmically created problems. So of course, everything is not going to be the same. The numbers will change, you know, they'll have some formulas in there. So it'll probably, you know, change the scenario or something, but, you know, obviously the core content will stay the same. You will have due dates for homeworks, quizzes, exams, you know, assignments. So obviously you want to make sure that you're keeping up with those due dates and not falling behind. So just keep in mind, to be able to access your quizzes and exams, the homework will have to have 90% before you can move on to the quiz and the exam. Now, the way I work with exams is I do not do any makeup exams. So for any reason you miss an exam, there's no chance for a makeup. But what I do offer you is, before we take the final exam at the end of the semester, I will drop your lowest chapter exam. So that can be, if you missed an exam, that can be the 0 from the missed exam. Or let's say you didn't miss an exam, you took all of them. So whichever ends up being your lowest grade will get dropped. So you kind of think of it as a makeup exam where, you know, you're improving a lower grade, but instead of having to do a makeup exam, I'll just throw it out. You know, I dropped that score. Now, if for any reason you miss 2 or more chapter exams, then, obviously only one of those will get dropped, but the others will stay. So you really don't want to miss any exam. The option with dropping your lowest chapter exam score works out best, because once you drop that, you will see that overall grade, rise up, just depending on what your other grades look like. So please keep in mind, again, that 90% requirement on homeworks before you can get into the exams also. And since you guys will be taking these exams, in your own environment, at your own home or office, you do want to make sure during the exam, especially, you are by yourself, all alone. So again, you don't have any distractions around you. We definitely want that for the classroom environment also, but definitely for the exams, so you don't have any distractions. Your final exam, again, the language is a little bit more on what the department policies are. But since, again, you guys are at home, I would say open notes, open book is fine. But the exams are timed. So obviously you want to be mindful of that, because if you're going to be spending time looking up answers, then you're going to run out of time on your exam. So it's okay to have like a cheat sheet, formulas, and that there will be some formulas that will be helpful to have them written down, so you're not having to think about those. So a cheat sheet, like I said, open calculators, the department policy says scientific, but if a graphing calculator is what you have, then I don't want you to go out and like buy a new one. However, calculators on a smart anything, smartphone, smartwatch, smart tablet, smart who knows what, are not allowed. It has to be a traditional calculator. So scientific, graphing, whatever you have, just not on a phone or a tablet or anything like that. Any institution, any college will take academic dishonesty, cheating, plagiarism very, very seriously. So of course, Ames is similar to that. So just, we don't want to create any situation where any of that happens. Make sure all the work you're turning in is your own. All the exams you are taking, all the work you are doing is your own and nobody else's. Because if there's even a hint of this is not your work, that can definitely lead into a lot of trouble. So we want to avoid that situation. Just another reiteration of the calculator over here. So the exam dates, right now, the only one I have posted is the final exam. Like I said, if we can move it a day or two early, we'll try to do that, but that's the last day of our class. So that definitely has to be the last day you can take the final exam. If we can take before that, we will. If not, that's your absolute last day. Now, for all the other exams, again, since, like I said, this is a new textbook I'm using, I'm kind of playing it by year to see how long it's going to take us for each of those concepts, chapters, and then based on that, we'll be coming up with our class schedule and exam schedule. So right now I don't have that here, but again, as I get an idea, I'll obviously let you guys know, and then I'll post it in D2L and here as well. So just some helpful tips or hints to help you out here. Like I mentioned in our attendance policy, it's definitely going to be beneficial for you to come to class. So that way you are going to get the most out of it, get the most benefit by being in class, learning from me, from each other, and, participating together. If you can, you want to keep up with your homework. So Wednesday is when we'll start lecturing. So if you try and do it the same day as we lecture, or, if you watch the video lectures, that's going to be fresh in your mind. You'll probably be more productive that day. Don't fall behind. That's one thing I always notice in math classes. And I've had students tell me this, which is fine, but they will say, oh, I had a history paper due, so, I was working on that. I didn't get to my math homework, or, English paper due, or some other project for another class. So a lot of times we leave math for the end, and then you realize, oh my God, I have this whole homework set to do, but now it's taking me so long to get through it, and then you miss the deadline for the homework and you're unable to take the exam because you didn't meet that 90% requirement. So please be very mindful of that. If you need to set a schedule for yourself, from this time to this time, I'm going to do math every day, get it out of the way, or whatever your system is, come up with a system. Anytime you don't understand anything, please ask questions. You can ask me during class. You can ask me after class. Right after your class is when I have office hours. So let's see, you guys are till 12:25. So yeah, 12:45 to 1:15 on Monday, Wednesday, Fridays is when I have office hours. So I've given a 20-minute break in there, and that's mainly for if you guys wanted to stay back and ask me questions. You guys have that 20 minutes, and then we can, just move that into the office hours if we needed to. But that way, if any of my other students from other classes were coming in, then, they didn't have to like wait for me, like, oh, Ms. Daruka didn't show up in the office hours. So there's that 20-minute buffer. And then on Tuesday, Thursdays, my office hours are from 1:30 to 2. And that's also after I finish a class at 1 o'clock. So again, I've given myself a half an hour break in there, and then 1:30 to 2. Now, those are just the times that I picked, but as you will see at the top of this document, I also said office hours are available by appointment. So if any of those times do not work out for you and you want to meet at a specific time, let me know in advance and we can try and schedule something. So that way we can find a time that works for you and I both. But yeah, please don't hesitate. If you have any questions, anything that doesn't make sense, you need extra help with, try and reach out for that assistance. Of course, we also have tutoring services available. I believe Greeley and Windsor offer in-person tutoring. I'm not sure at Loveland and Fort Lupton we have in-person, but they will offer Zoom tutoring on the other campuses also. So you can, again, attend online tutoring sessions, or you can do the in-person ones. There's an appointment system that they have, but you can definitely schedule those. As I mentioned, there are no makeup exams, but I will drop your lowest chapter exam score. And anything that comes up with you, if you communicate with me and you let me know, I will find a way to work with you if I can. But if you just don't tell me what's going on, then, it's really hard for me to accommodate anything that may be going on at your home. So a heads up is always appreciated if you can do that. So just because we are in the classroom setting, there will be discussions happening and stuff. I want to make sure we're all going to be, kind towards each other. Our behavior or our language is not going to get where we're going to be upsetting, classmates or the teacher or anything like that. So anything that is bothering you, if you're unhappy about something I said or did, or a classmate said or did, let me know and we can find a way to work out. If you're not comfortable talking to me, you can talk to my chair. She's an amazing person. She will work with you. If you need to go higher up than that, there's the dean, and then the hierarchy keeps going. But I would say if you're comfortable, come and talk to me, even if it is sending me an email or talking to me over Zoom or a phone call. We can find a way to talk to each other and sort out the situation. My goal here is not to make you uncomfortable, to make you unhappy or anything. My goal is to share what this class is about and help you be successful in this course. That's my main goal over here. So anything that you think is going to disrupt that, come to me and we'll find a way to work out. We also have counselors available on campus. So if you think speaking with a counselor might help you in a certain situation, please make use of them. They are amazing, amazing people. One of them is a very good friend of mine. I met her, obviously after I started working at Ames, but just a wonderful person who really does look forward to working with our students and helping them as she can. So we have great counselors. I'm sure on other campuses also they are wonderful, but I know the one we have on Fort Lupton is a really extraordinary person. Again, just a reiteration about any form of cheating, academic dishonesty would not be tolerated. So we just want to make sure we're avoiding any of that situation. So I know I kind of went over this quickly, but anybody have any questions about the syllabus? Okay. And then, like I said, your textbook is available. Let me see if I can. Not that one. Okay, so this is where I had posted the Zoom link. Again, I need to actually go in and fill a lot of this information here, and I will do that this afternoon. But very quickly, I wanted you guys to have access to the course syllabus. So that's right over here. There is this general information that is in all your D2L course shell. So you can see there is a link for tutoring right over here. And of course, there are some other helpful links, but when you go to this, it'll take you to the tutoring page on the AIMS website, and it kind of shows you how to make an appointment with the tutor here. And then if you go down, you will see it gives you the specific time on the different days for math tutoring, where you have face-to-face appointments and where you have the online one. So that's right here through your D2L course shell. Here is the textbook that I have posted. So I have posted the PDF document. If you guys wanted to download that and have it handy on your computer, you can do that. And I've also posted the HTML link, and you can see that's kind of what it ends up looking like. So that'll be our chapter 1. Now, this is really neat of how they have embedded videos into the textbook, which unfortunately, obviously you're not going to see in the PDF. Because, obviously that's how the PDFs work. So the HTML version would be, really wonderful in that. And then you can see how they're giving you examples, and then try to solve it on your own, but then you can go in and look for the solution. So I thought this was kind of neat, the way they have designed this HTML. So just something to keep you aware of. So again, both of those versions are available right here under the e-textbook. And then here are the lectures that I have posted for your class over here. So you can see it kind of breaks down by sections, which were from the old textbook. But I will, when I get a little bit of extra time this week, I will try and organize these by topics, because I know by looking at the section numbers, it's not going to make sense, only because these section numbers are from the other textbook, that Michael was showing us before. So I will need to break these down more by topics than sections. So I will try and get that done. The other thing I wanted to show you is this is kind of where, when you just come into the page, into the course shell, you will see you have announcements. So I'll definitely try to post main announcements each week. But what I actually use is this service called remind.com to send out reminders. And what it does is it actually sends you text messages to your phone. And that way, it's a quick message. I can say, hey, we're working on this assignment now, this is due, or, don't forget your chapter 1 exam is coming up on such and such date. So that kind of thing. So let me share this link with you for your remind.com. And I'm actually going to send it through chat here on Zoom. So through the Zoom chat, you should see this link coming through. If you click on that link, it will take you to where you can sign up for it. Now, it is not going to share your phone number with me or anything like that. I only get to see your name and that's it, nothing else. So this way, I can, and you can see how it's showing my name right now. And as you guys fill in, your names will start showing up on my list here. So this is how I send you regular reminders. So on the D2L core shell, I'll do a main, oh, chapter 1 is due, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, whatever a date may come out to be. But this is where I will do more of the, regular weekly reminders. I'm gonna have to let them go to voice mail for now. Terry, did you end up in a different class? No, there you are. There we go. All right, and just so you can see what that message looks like. Yeah, Amanda, we can definitely do that. No worries. Okay, so for those of you who have already enrolled, you should see this message coming through. So it can come as a text message. Now, I actually have the Remind app on my phone. So for me, my messages don't come as a text message. It just, obviously like you would get a notification. That's kind of how it comes. You don't have to download the app because trust me, I'm sure all of you run into the problem. We have way too many apps and not enough storage. So if you're okay getting just a text message reminder, you don't have to download the app. So that's kind of how this works. Again, that link is coming through the chat and I'll send it one more time. So just click on that, put your information in. You can, I believe, also get an email reminder if you didn't want to do a cell phone. I just prefer the cell phone because I think getting that quick, reminder, hey, chapter 1 is due, blah, blah, blah day, and you're done. I don't have to send a big long email for that. So that's kind of what I do with these. And you can see I have all different classes that I have set up over here. So that's kind of how this guy works out to be. Let's see. We've only got a couple more minutes left. Oh, one other thing I did want to mention is I will actually be posting a discussion post. And I'm actually going to do that as soon as I get done with you guys in class. I'm going to be posting a discussion post where I would like you to introduce yourself to me and your classmates. It's going to be a very general post, introduce yourself. When was the last math class you took? So that kind of gives me an idea, how long it's been since you've done a math class. Are you excited or nervous about taking this class? And just something fun about yourself, anything that you would be comfortable sharing with us. So I will make that, it's actually hidden right now because I hadn't changed the dates and stuff on it, but I will do that. So it's just going to be a quick short video recording that you will be doing, and I'll have all those links and everything set up for you. So I use this program called Flipgrid. where you can use the camera on your laptop to record a short video, and it can be just a minute long. It doesn't have to be very, very long or detailed, whatever you guys are comfortable with. You can do it on your phone. The one thing I will tell you not to do, because I've had many students run into trouble, is you know how you can record a video on your phone and then you can think about uploading it like we do for Facebook or Instagram. For some reason, every now and then Flipgrid will be very finicky and it will not let you upload the video. So, you know, it kind of ends up where you're having to do double the work because you recorded it on your phone, but it's not letting you upload it. So then you go into Flipgrid and you have to record it through the Flipgrid's own video recorder. So I would say, just to save yourself any double work, just go through Flipgrid and do your recording right through the Flipgrid instead of trying to upload it. Because I've had students where, you know, in my other classes, I make them do like a 10-minute project. So the video can be anywhere from 5 to 7 minutes. Some of them are almost 10 minutes long. And bless their heart, they record it on their phones. And then when they go to upload it, Flipgrid will get all funky on them. And then they have to go back and redo the whole experiment and re-record it. So just for that reason, I would say avoid recording on your phone and then transferring it. Hey, Michael, go ahead.
Where will the links for all that be?
So that link will actually show up right here under course information on this side, or and again, like I said, I've kind of hidden it right now, or you can go under discussions and you'll find it under discussion. So give me maybe about half an hour and I'll have it up and running for you. Okay. My main goal for today was to get the course syllabus and the textbook out to you guys, so at least you could start looking at the textbook, looking at the course syllabus and getting familiar, because I knew till Wednesday we were not going to lecture, so I was not in a big rush to get the other stuff going. I just wanted to get the main course material going for you guys before we got into any of that. Any other questions coming to mind at this time, guys? Yeah, go ahead, Terry.
And you'll explain how to get to My Open Math. I'm assuming it'll be on the course shell also, just a link to that.
Yeah, so I have an enrollment key for you guys, so I'll go ahead and share that with you so you guys can start enrolling in there. And then after Wednesday, I'll have the first homework assignment for you guys to work on, since we were not going to do any lecturing today. I didn't have that, but yes, you'll have instructions on how to enroll in My Open Math. And like I said, guys, since these are all free resources, don't expect high quality interface. The math will be good. It just will not look as fancy as some of those paid services, but it's a very good service. And you know, it's been created by math professors, so they know what they're looking for. They know what answers they want. It is very intuitive. It's not hard to use, but you know, you and I can figure it out if for any reason something doesn't make sense and you need extra help. So I do understand this is a new program for you and I both, so we'll take it slow and easy. So don't get overwhelmed by any of this. It's very, very simple to use. And trust me, if I can do it, I know you guys will be a breeze to go through that. So don't even worry about any of that. We'll definitely get all of that started on Wednesday. So I do appreciate your patience. I know some of you were worried about not seeing a Zoom link in there, but I was so worried about getting that syllabus out to you. I wanted to make sure it was properly, talking about all the class policies and stuff, that the Zoom link was not even on my thought. And then at 10:45, I was like, well, maybe I should put the Zoom link up there. Class starts in half an hour. So I really, really appreciate your patience, guys. And I'm looking forward to us being in this class together, and I'm really excited. I think you guys will enjoy this course since it is not very, very algebra heavy, and I think you will have fun doing the different type of math that we will be doing. So if you have any questions you want to stay back and ask me, I'm happy to answer them, and if not, I will see you guys on Wednesday morning at 11:15, guys. So be careful, have a wonderful day, and see you on Wednesday.
Thank you.
Thank you. Take care, everyone.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
Hi there.
Yeah, hey, how